We both played basketball. I think that was probably our one true first love, however you want to phrase it. So when did you begin to play basketball? Did you fall in love with it immediately, or how'd that progress?
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I remember my dad said we were at Holiday World when I was like 3 years old or something like that, and they had like this little floating like it wasn't a basketball hoop, but it was like some circular thing that like I could throw a ball in. My dad said he sat there and literally watched me do it for like 5 hours. So I guess at three, and then I mean I've always had a basketball in my hand. My dad was a huge Bobby Knight IU fan, so that's kind of how it started. I remember having like a Calvert Chaney jersey back in the day. The day I was born was the first day of the actual Dream Team's first practice. It was the day I was born. So, that's kind of how it started. But really, I mean, my dad, put a ball in my hand, and then, I just kind of liked it. I liked the shoes. I liked, just the look. I liked playing basketball. Being a little kid, in Indiana, you love Reggie Miller. So, I mean, that's usually everybody's favorite player, So, that definitely got me more into it after I watched Reggie and, watched him talk trash and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it started from Holiday World at 3 years old.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a great, birthday to have or whatever with the first practice of the Dream Team. It's not bad at all. I think that's kind of,
yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of poetic justice for sure. So, that's Holiday World. Shout out Holiday World. It doesn't get enough credit, man. That's a badass water park.
Hey, I think they're redoing a lot of stuff. I
Yeah?
heard they're redoing a bunch of stuff. I need to hit the wave full in the Lazy River soon.
Yeah, that's right, man. Waves in the Lazy River. They need to add a few more roller coasters, probably attract a little bit more attention. So,
and shout out Kings Island because I heard they're bringing another Beast roller coaster back.
Oh, thank goodness. That's a classic. They got rid of Son of the Beast because I think it killed somebody. R.I.P. to whoever that was. But yeah, that was a fun one. But absolutely. Yeah. So for those of you that are watching live or maybe watching the rerun on this, Alexander, man, where'd you get all those shoes from, dude? When did you start collecting shoes? I mean, I think it's obvious that you're kind of a shoe geek. So how'd that all come about?
I remember when I was about 5 years old, my dad had bought me shoes, when I was little, obviously like everybody's parents do. But when I was 5, I remember getting a pair of like retro 12s. I remember a picture of me at because I wanted to do the pose on the on at church as well. But no, I remember that, and I just remember always watching Michael Jordan play. But it's crazy. I got into retro Jordans because of Reggie Miller, which is crazy because he used to wear retro Jordans, and I wanted to wear the ones he was wearing, not because of Michael Jordan, which I like Michael Jordan, but Reggie Miller is still like, that's how I wanted Jordans even more. But I had every player. I had Grant Hill, Tracy McGrady, Iverson. I mean, you know how it was in the 90s. Like, every player had a shoe, and every player's shoe was popular. It wasn't like one or two players. Everybody was popular. So I just remember my dad buying me shoes and stuff like that. And that was like one of the things that I loved more than anything. I used to make my uncle and my dad carry me into church so I wouldn't get my shoes dirty because my grandpa was a preacher, as you know. So they used to act like they were going to drop me. So yeah, that wasn't funny.
Oh, no way, man. Can't be getting them J's dirty.
Yeah, that's kind of dark. My dad did it. No. Carpet only.
That's funny. So speaking of your dad, I love your dad, as you know. Shout out Marky Mark. Is he getting in shape a little bit? I mean, he's got the bald head. I mean, can we call him Marky Mark? Or?
Yeah, he's actually, he told me, because I've been running that, we talked about, I've been running a little more, drinking just water. He's kind of getting a little out there because, he'll probably be able to retire in the next few years. So he wants to kind of be a little bit more active. I mean, he's an active guy anyway, but yeah, he's doing great. My brother has one more year left at IU. He's going to be an accountant. Kendall, he's 22. Carter, he'll be 19 in July, and he actually is signing his, like, they're doing him, like, having him sign a letter of intent. He's going to trade school in Vincennes, but they're having him sign it like athlete. So that's what he's actually doing right now. So shout out to Carter, and his open house for graduation is Sunday. He's about to graduate from high school. So yeah, that's kind of what they're all up to. And then my stepmom Kim, obviously, she's a great person as well. Kim.
Yeah.
So
yeah, shout out Carter, man.
Oh, great. They have a good family.
Going to Vincennes.
Yeah. He's gonna get into maintenance. He's gonna do maintenance.
Good deal. And Kendall, is he in the Kelly School of Business down there at IU? Is that where the accounting goes through? Do you know?
There is, but there's another one as well that he got in. There's 2 different ones, and he got into the other one, I believe. So he's working at a golf course because he wants to get in with a golf company and be an accountant for like a golf company or something, because he's big into golf now, even though he can't beat me at Topgolf. But, he's a golfer.
Yeah. Hey, we should all link up at Topgolf, man. Shout out to my wife, Dakota. We went there the first time, and she beat my ass 3 times. The first 3 times I was getting pissed because she was just out here smoking. Yep. I'm like trying to be serious, and she's laughing, having fun with Bud Light. And she's
your own clubs and your gloves.
Yeah, I got my FootJoys on. She's out here whooping me. So
watch out, babe. Brought my own tees.
Yeah. Just an AstroTurf real quick. So, hey, good for him though, because man, golf it's really picking up, especially with the younger generation. I love to play golf. I'm not the greatest at it, but man, that would be a sport to be in because it's picking up a lot of.
I'm not good.
Yeah, that makes 2 of us, so it's all good, man.
I mean, it's cool to be outside, warm weather. Enjoy the weather and be outside. I haven't ever played 9 holes. I don't know about like how accurate I am driving. Like, but at Topgolf, I can get it in the hole.
Yeah.
I learned how to hit a golf ball last summer. That was the first time I ever hit a golf ball. And somebody said they golf. Oh, sorry, twice. It was only twice. Sorry, it was only 2 times. 3 times, but I have beat him multiple times. Yeah. Yep.
No, that's right.
Humble. I'm very humble. Very humble.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should try golf sometime because I usually hit 2 good shots around, and that's why I keep coming back because it's always the first shot that's good and it's the last one. Everything else in between is dog shit. So it's
I don't know how to hit 40-yarders. It's 200 or nothing, baby. I'm hitting the Happy Gilmore long
Yeah, chicks dig the long
and
ball.
if it goes far, guess we're bringing a whole basket of balls because there ain't no way I'm about to chase them all down. We'll be up there for 5 hours. Like, that wasn't a good shot. I'm going to go one more time.
Yeah. Unlimited mulligans. Unlimited.
Yeah.
All right. So back to your dad. You know, how developmental or how instrumental was he in your development as a basketball player as a young kid, and really just the upbringing he kind of the expectation he gave for you in that upbringing. How instrumental was he in all of that?
I mean, it's hard to it's hard to say that because my dad is obviously like your parents are just, you can't really explain it. You want to try to be a day because you just don't know how they get through it sometimes or how they do it. But my dad, I mean, no matter what, he pushed me. But a lot of people thought he made me play. That's what was always funny to me because my dad told me from day one, if you want to do ballerina, you can be a ballerina. I'll be at all the things and cheering you on. So it's funny that a lot of people actually thought that my dad made me play basketball. And that was not the case because when I stopped playing basketball, I talk to my dad every day. He's just as supportive, but I mean, my dad, we've shot hundreds of thousands of shots together, yell at each other, scream at them, can't leave them, make 10 in a row. My dad, you talk about talking trash. Nobody ever gets to me talking trash unless it was my dad when I was younger because, he'd go into, oh, well, that's why you're not going to do this. That's why you're not going to do that because, you're not going to. Then I would hit him all. He's like, that's why you do it. So it was like the same thing. Make me mad every time, but I'd get through it. But my dad, if I could be, half the dad my dad is, and I'll be a good dad. I'll be an exceptional dad if I could be half the dad my dad has been to me because I was the only child, but my dad made sure he treated me like he was raising 5 kids and so much effort he put in. So my dad is it's a blessing to have parents, and I mean you know as well as I do, not too many parents are like our parents, and like you and Dakota, you guys are parents like your parents and her parents. You guys put your kids first, and God and love, and that's what my dad has done. He's instilled God in us, and to make sure you do the right thing for the right reasons, no matter who's watching. It's like just because nobody saw you steal it doesn't mean it's not wrong. So I'm all about doing the right thing for the right reason. A lot of these people and celebrities record themselves doing stuff for people all the time, and it's just that's cool every once in a while to inspire somebody else, but I can't tell you how many times, I've just done stuff out of, just because it felt right. God, came upon me and it was like, just do this for the right reason. It's just spontaneous. Nothing's ever scheduled or planned with me. You just do things for the right reason. So my dad definitely, instilled God in me how to be a man and, to make sure that you treat women right. You treat everybody with respect, but you also don't take anything from anybody either. You don't start a fight, but you finish it. So that's definitely what he taught me.
That's awesome to hear, man. And your dad was always good to me, when we got to know each other real well. And so it's awesome to hear the relationship that you two have and just the effect that he's had on you as a person and your life so far, which, I couldn't be happier for you and then obviously for your dad. So he's been awesome to me, especially in, when we were in college and stuff. And we'll get to that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, likewise, the Elite Sox, your parents, my parents, we were just, it was just one of those things, like they knew what we were doing. They knew how close we were, stuff like that. My mom loved you. So, stuff like that. But even, I send my dad and Kim pictures of you and your family all the time. Dakota's always posting stuff. So I'm always screenshotting and sending it to them. So they definitely know what the girls are up to and everything. So I send them pictures all the time. So they definitely keep updated with you through Facebook. And then I always send them stuff too. So they definitely know what's going on. You watched your podcast the other day too.
Oh, man, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm really trying to get it back off the ground. I was doing it for a while there, so I appreciate him checking in. And I'm glad that, you're one of the benefiting people of my wife using Facebook as a personal journal.
As a family.
Yeah. She's ate up, dude. She knows it too, but she doesn't give a damn.
Yeah. My life of Dakota.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
She's great.
Yeah.
I love messing with her. She's best to mess with.
Oh yeah. She's fun. All right. So, man, let's move along. So
Yeah.
in high school, you went to Seeger. You started out at. And I think that so you're a couple years younger than I, but we didn't get to play till I believe my senior year because my junior year I was out with an ACL injury, and I think you guys came down to Riverman Park and absolutely blitzed us, which wasn't to be, it wasn't unexpected. So,
yeah. when the kid hit the full court shot, we won by 50. The kid hit the full court shot. He was like, "Whoa, it's over."
Grant Mitchell was that kid.
He did. I'll never forget that. In front of our coach and oh man, yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Good memory.
His name is Grant Mitchell. He did the John Cena.
That was my freshman year.
Was it? Oh, dude. I remember.
Yeah.
I was at home, obviously. I mean, I couldn't get out. And somebody sent me the video of the film, and he hit that, and he just turned at your bench and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. I wish social media was as big as it is now because he'd be on Bleacher Report, Overtime, all that.
Yeah, he'd be on Sports.
Caption, I take no L.
Oh, man.
Because my freshman year, you had an ACL injury, right? And then my sophomore year, you played, right?
Yeah, you guys still beat us, which, I mean.
Yeah, that was my first dunk I ever had in high school.
Yeah, I remember that.
But what's crazy, my first high school dunk, well, I'm not even about to get into that yet because that's later down. I'll wait until we get into that, and I'm going to tie both of those together.
All right, man. But,
we don't talk about the dunk.
Right. So, real quick on the whole subject of Grant doing that, the John Cena, his nickname, probably still to this day, but in high school was Dirty because he I don't know, that's something to do with the skin tone. So we just called him Dirty because it looked like he'd been laying in sand.
I see that. Yeah, you never like clean. Wipe it off.
Yeah. But I mean, Grant, if you watch or listen to this, I don't know that you ever will. Shout out, dude. That was a hell of a shot.
Great memory. Great memory for me. Shout out to my assistant for the water.
Yeah. Oh man, that was some good stuff. So you played at Seeger. Obviously, I only got to play you once, but to my knowledge, you were 2-0 against Riverman Park, which there was a couple teams that could say that. I mean, we had some good success in high school, but we weren't the greatest, which it is what it is. So, and I know you made the move to Tipton.
Riverman Park has definitely had some squads.
What's that?
I said Riverton Park definitely had some squads when I was younger. I remember they had the big lefty, and then they had the little Cleghorn. Was that his name?
Yeah, I was a freshman on that team.
He was nice. He had a nice mid-range game. Yeah, he had a nice mid-range game. And the lefty, I liked his game too. He was nice.
Yeah. No, that was a fun year. I mean, I had a decent sophomore year. I was top 100 in the state in scoring my junior year up until I blew my knee out.
Yeah. Yeah, we were top first year. We're in high school.
Yeah. So
RJ, we were the top 3 every single year.
Yep. Yeah, so that was a ton of fun. So I know you made the move to Tipton. And you actually got to play. I don't know if you played with Derek Elston. He may have been a little bit older. Actually, he probably was by the time.
Yeah.
But so Tipton was
2 years old.
Okay, so Tipton was I would say it was a step up. It was a step up from Seeger in class and competition, probably. And then, so did you start seeing like your recruiting like blossom?
Gaylord, it took me off this thing.
All right, so you made the move to Tipton, right? And so when you moved to Tipton, obviously that was kind of a step up in class and probably competition, I would presume, from Seeger at that day and age. So did you see your recruiting like pick up? Like, did you see some interest from college coaches at that time, or was it already on from Seeger?
To be honest, it was on, but it actually like kind of hurt it a little bit because I had a lot of things. As that sort of time, And then the Tipton coach, me and his son were best friends, but he for didn't like me. But I went there, everybody, from back home, oh yeah, we'll see how he does. I was still the leading scorer on that team. That was, we were 21-4. I was still the leading scorer, still led the team in assists. So, to me, it was like I've been playing against the top competition forever, so it never really mattered to me. Like, I didn't care. It was just more like on a nightly basis, I would get a better game. Like with Seeger, you have so many of the blow-off games where it's like, and it's hard to play against teams like that. Like, it's really hard to get yourself going because, when the good teams came, they were hyped up. That's when I was ready to go, and I would do what I needed to do. But, yeah, it was cool. I really liked the people when I lived there. But if I could go back, I do appreciate the experience they had. I scored my 1,000th point there my junior year. They took my name off the board, though, after I moved away. They took my name off. So screw Tipton anyway. It's just, like I met a lot of good people there, though. Like a lot of people that lived there were really good people. I made a lot of friends, but, year, but, I came back. I actually called a couple of teammates and told them I was coming back. I told them hey, I'm coming back. I just just kind of was something just like, I've been the leader of our team since, I was in second, third grade. So it's like they had a losing record. Of course, they despised me because people were probably saying, oh, if he was here. Because I remember I hit one of the game, closing shots against West Lafayette. And then the next week, Seeger played them when I was at Tipton. And the West Lafayette started cheering when they were killing Seeger. They were like, where is Hutson? And then Seeger actually cheered back. They go, he beat you last week. So that was pretty cool. Did a little different, but, a lot of people never really understood me. They never took the time to ask what I do, but, I didn't party in high school. I wasn't doing stuff like that. I was kind of a lone wolf. I had a couple buddies. I knew I was cool with everybody, but I wasn't like in the mix and needed to be popular with everybody either. And people kind of get turned off by that. If you don't want to fit in, I don't need to fit in, So I was really about chasing the girls and doing all that stuff and hooping. So that's all I really cared about, and having fresh shoes. And that's all we did.
That's right.
You already know.
You
already know.
Balls, boobies, and kicks. That's what I'm talking about.
Balls, babes, and kicks.
Hey, so what AAU what AAU team did you play with? Did you play like Indiana Elite, or who'd you play with?
Oh, yeah. So I started off we started off when I was real young. We just took our school team, and we used to go play up like 2 grades. And we'd get smacked sometimes, but we also whooped some dudes. So, that kind of built us for the future where when it came to school ball, we were dogging people. I mean, you remember how the people talking about us 5th through, we were the talk of the conference. Everybody was waiting for us to come up. So, that was kind of cool. But no, I started off with Indiana Select. Went to Indiana Elite, and then I went to Spiece Indy Heat. I played for 2 different Spiece Indy Heat teams, and I did is the craziest competition you'll ever see. Crazy.
Yeah. I never played on like a club team, or I guess whatever you want to, a shoe team or whatever you want to call them. I mean, I played really had.
Right. You guys had a nice little squad. You had the kickers from the Giants, his brother, right? Was on your team. It was like a Terre Haute, all Terre Haute team, right? Kind of pretty much like from different areas. You guys had a nice little squad, though, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I think we won a couple tournaments.
Sometimes that's the funnest way to do it.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, we won a couple tournaments. We didn't do anything crazy. It was the dumbest name. We were called the North Stars. I was like, where's the women's AU tournament? Because we're playing in that with this team name right now? Because our shooting shirts were
right. Or is there a slow pitch softball?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, what bowling alley are we out here at 3 o'clock? So
get my wrist guard.
I had a lot of good friends that played on that team, but I mean, it was just like kids I played with Otter Creek with football, and I played in the Terre Haute League for Little League baseball. So those were that's how we all played all 3 sports together. So that's how we started that. And then in high school, actually, RJ's dad put together an AAU team of dudes, mostly from the conference. He picked a couple guys from like KZ Westfield and like a couple other teams that played in the Pizza Hut Classic. And we actually went down to Bloomington and played in an Adidas tournament and won the thing.
Yeah, the Adidas May Classic?
No, there was another one. It wasn't the May Classic. We did play in that, though, because dude. Yeah. We played against Bradley
Michigan State, Travis.
Yeah, we played against Bradley Beal.
Bradley who?
Bradley Beal. I'm pretty sure we played against his AAU team at the Adidas May Classic when I was on that team. They were good.
It would have been the St. Louis Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bradley Beal's a dog. I remember watching him. He dogged Austin Rivers at the EYBL. They played after us. He dogged Austin Rivers, and Austin Rivers was cool in high school.
Yeah, he's a chump now, but yeah, Bradley Beal was. Yeah,
Bradley Beal's good. Yeah, Bradley Beal's good. He's one of those people that you won't see how good he is if you've seen it until you see him in person.
Oh yeah. And I think if he had a little more freedom off the ball from John Wall, but I think they're a killer backcourt, but. Yeah, that was a fun tournament to play in, and then
not working.
No, it's not. And then I went to an IU basketball camp when Kelvin Sampson was the coach there, and Ray McCollum's dad was the assistant on Sampson's staff, and that dude's team absolutely roasted us. But I mean, I thought.
Oh yeah. DJ Bird, Derek Elston, the light-skinned kid with the fro that looked like Klay Thompson that played at Evansville, Cole something.
Oh yeah,
Ray McCallum.
Yeah. Yeah, he killed us. I mean, he killed us.
Wasn't it Cole Bennett? Was it Cole Bennett?
It was Cole something. Yeah. He played all 4 years at Evansville, and he was like one of the leading scorers.
Yeah.
I know exactly who you're talking about because he roasted.
Yeah, he looked like Klay Thompson.
Yeah. He roasted Indiana State his 4 years there because my grandpa used to get pissed and cuss up a storm about it. But, yeah, he was a baller.
Oh, yeah, he was nice. He was really good.
Yeah, so did you go on a recruiting visit to Xavier? Did you tell me that one time?
Yeah, I did. I went on an official visit to the Midnight Madness, and it was the year that Jordan Crawford transferred. So he wasn't going to play, but he was at Midnight Madness. And I'll tell you what, that's one of the best players I've ever seen in person.
Yeah.
You don't know, bro. His handles, his bounce, like he looks like he's about to fall apart. Like
right.
He walks like this. Like the dude's 6'6", legit 6'6", crazy handles. You can't stop him. He can shoot from anywhere. That dude is good. That's one of the best players I've ever seen.
I remember being so excited when he was transferring to IU. I was so pumped, and then the whole video came out of him dunking on LeBron.
Good.
I was hyped. I was so excited. So you went to Xavier.
Yeah, he was a dog.
So you went to Xavier. Did you go like on any other big recruiting trips, or was?
Yeah, I mean, I was recruited by IU. I was at their, they had their camp where they bring you in and they have you go through all the circuit drills, kind of like NBA Combine, but all the IU basketball recruits when Matt Carlino, because that's what they were talking about, me and Matt, who were they going to offer? Like he was just big, but I was playing them and dogged him. And another dude, Johnny Marlin, that walked the same thing. Like, I saw those dudes and like, but because there's articles on like really list out like schools that were recruiting me, and at the time I'm taught Ohio State, Kentucky. I mean, I averaged 25 plus, with my Speed City Heat team. When I played my junior year, I averaged almost 25 to 30 a game. I remember having every coach, 30 of the biggest schools in the country. We played Ron Patterson, Jeremy Hollowell, Kellen Thomas, Austin Burdett. And they had like 51 players. I remember dropping 35 on them in front of all. So, I've proved what I needed to prove. Because I see some of these dudes still to this day, and they don't forget. Because I've dunked these dudes, scored, they've seen it all. So my AU coach he definitely played a part and kind of got me blackballed because, I had a phone call every single night, every month from whether it was Xavier, Evansville, Indiana State, Butler. I was on an official visit at Butler when they played Drake, when Drake beat Al Korver's brother. And, it's like all of a sudden it happened. And it was just like I wasn't any worse. All it was get bigger. I had a 40-inch vertical. I was a left-hand point guard. I mean, you put that out there now, they're all 5-star, 5-star, 5-star. You know what I mean? So, it's a lot of hype, but obviously, formed me. You go through those things, it forms you into about it. Yeah, taught me to be taught.
Yeah, so I guess that's probably a good segue. So that's kind of how you ended up at Ancilla. Thankfully, I got to enjoy you for about a year and a half as a roommate. We lived right there in the same building as a teammate, and I was actually stunned. I'll never forget seeing you at our game. I remember thinking to myself, like, what the hell is he doing?
Yeah.
And I was trying to. Glen Oaks was?
I wasn't even getting recruited by him. Yeah, that's where I wanted to go. I wanted to go play for that dude. But it's crazy. He stopped recruiting me. And remember when we went to Glen Oaks, gave him that work.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. Oh yeah, that because they thought that Carvel dude was so good. Yeah. I remember because it's crazy because that little Lucky dude that played there, he went to Goshen. Goshen offered me my second year at Ancilla, and he was like begging me to come. He's like, "Yeah, bro, come." But yeah, Glen Oaks was recruiting me because Wally was getting recruited by Glen Oaks while he was watching it in Ancilla. In a row, I was dunking in my cargo shorts, and I was like, I like it here. And then I saw you, and then I remember Joby too. So I was like, I scored my 1,000 in high school against Joby, and I got my first dunk against you.
yeah.
So that was good.
Yeah, you're like, well, I got to come to Ancilla where I can dominate these.
It was crazy because, and then I got my, the girl I was dating at the time, I got her a softball scholarship there.
Yeah.
Because they weren't recruiting her. They weren't recruiting her at all. And I told them, I basically kind of told him, like Coach Neely, like, hey, can you get the softball coach to go check her out? Because that would kind of seal my deal. But no, I really liked it. I liked it. And so the teachers were really good to me. I had fun. I mean, we had tons of fun. Me, you, Joby, Big Country. Like, we had so much fun. Like, that was like the smallest, most boring town probably. We had like the most fun just going to games, driving around, going to the mall in South Bend. Like, it was a lot of fun. It was definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, having a kid that goes by the nickname of Taint almost get us murdered on a road.
Yeah, the guy with the canoe after we left Carrabba's. The guy had the canoe and Tate rolled down the window like this. He's like, "Can't get me." I'll never forget that. That dude got out in all the traffic. I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
That was good.
We cut through a parking lot to get to the other side of the stoplight because our lane of traffic was backed up. And Tank, after he rolls down the window, we're all freaking out. He rolls down the window like 2 inches and just looks up. And
yeah, and the guy's like sitting there, get out. Oh, like, don't do it. Oh, yeah, that was good.
Oh, man, that's some good stuff, dude. Yeah, Ancilla, I don't think you've been back. I've been back a couple times. I spoke at it wasn't a commence, it wasn't graduation. It was something that they do at the beginning of the year. They had me come out and I spoke to like all the students and stuff. But man, they've built dorms out there. They have dorms.
Yeah.
They have a dining hall right across the road, dude. If we would have had that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's actually really nice.
We ate out every night.
Hell yeah. How many times did we eat out at that Ponderosa, yeah. I can't believe I forgot what that was. And we'd get breakfast at Arby's every morning. Oh man. That was good. Good old Arby's.
There's a Ponderosa out here. Oh, Arby's, yeah, I love Arby's. But yeah, they have a Ponderosa out here. We go every once in a while. It's still fire.
Oh yeah. No, there's one right down the road. Obviously, I'm at the finance office I manage is in Plymouth, so it's like living the glory days, bro. Driving down Michigan Street and
walk in there and be like, yeah, I used to come in here all the time. I was a legend around here. Me and my boys used to come in here and settle down.
Yeah. Still one of your 50-cent glasses, and I got in trouble by the waitress next time we went in there. I knew you took my cup. You want it back?
That's funny.
Yeah, man, that was fun time. So, was there? So before, okay, I'll kind of lead into this one. So your favorite on court memory at Ancilla? I have two of them, and I want to share these with you. Although you probably have a really good idea of what they are. I think number one is when I think I got a steal or something, and I was all by myself. I could have went up and laid the ball in, and I couldn't dunk in college after my knee surgery because I didn't take care of my body well enough and was a little overweight. So I was just Mr. Thickness, block out, get rebounds. So I threw the ball.
Corner specialist.
That's right, baby. So I turn around and AJ's trailing me. So I just turn around and hand him the ball and immediately start celebrating as he goes up to dunk it. Tomahawk left hand. And I'm probably looking like a fool jumping up and down the court, getting all hyped because I wish I could do that.
Oh, man. That was a wild game because I remember we trapped the guy at half court and I tipped it to you. You grabbed it from him.
Yeah.
And you tossed it to me like this because you already knew if I got to space, you knew I was going.
Yeah.
So you tossed it to me like this, and I remember you behind me. You go dunk it, go dunk it, go dunk it, go dunk it, and you're saying it to me. And that was because I had 39 and 12 that game. That was like my breakout game, and then I went for like 26 plus in like 8 straight games. So that was like my breakout game. And I remember like that our crowds were good. We had a lot of people at our games, to be honest. Like, and I remember you yelling that, and my happened. I just remember going down and just hammering it, and everybody was like almost surprised, and I just remember, one of the chest pounds, and then that was it.
Yep, that was awesome. My second favorite memory. My second favorite one, I forget who we were playing. It was a conference game, though, and it was a real tight game. And I hit like a 3 to tie it up. And Coach Neely called a timeout. And we used to make a joke. I forget what it was, but like when the 3 sign was, that was big. And I remember I crossed my arms and made it like it was like 3 and it stood for like Bentley because we were listening to something about, I can't remember what music it was about, Bentleys and stuff. And you walked up to me and put
the Rick Ross mixtape. Rick Ross mixtape.
That's what it was. You walk up to me and you put your hands on top of mine and you push them down. You said, "Stop it, stupid," or something like that. I was like, dude, I just hit a huge three. You're just like, all right, quit. Don't make a fool of yourself.
That was the worst celebration. It didn't make sense. I'm like, Josh, don't do that one.
Yeah.
I was happy, but that's how all has been. No matter how serious of a moment it is or how joking it is, it's like there's a picture of us at one of them little dumpy schools in Michigan, and there's a picture of us standing at half court that my mom had taken. And I remember we're just talking about nothing. And It wasn't like we weren't focused, though. Like, that's just how we were. Like, we were ready to go at all times. Like, me and you were ready to dog anybody. Like, if somebody was fouling you, I'm ready to hit them. If they fouled me, you're ready to hit them. We just knew what we were doing. We just always had fun, but we were always competitive. I remember that, though. Yeah, we used to always be talking about just nothing. Like, what are we about to do after this? Yeah. We'd be like, look at that dude. He looks like an idiot. We used to be talking crazy to people, too. That was funny.
I know. I wish somebody had a picture or like a video of that sequence because I bet I'd look like just a jackass. I bet I look so
stupid. The manager missed the video. Remember, he missed the dunk.
Oh.
George, remember him? That thought he was better than everybody on the team?
Yeah. George, he's my UPS delivery guy at work. He walks in, he delivers my packages. I swear.
What?
Yeah, I swear. He walked in one day. I'm like, George? I was like, George. He's like, oh, hey, what's up, man? Here's your package. Yep. Hey, what's up, man? Here's your package. I was like, are you not going to sit here and chit-chat with me? He's like, no, man, I got to get back on my route. I've seen him like 4 times. Old Georgie.
He used to come practice high and play. He never even got part of the game because he'd be watching the game. He thought he could play. Remember, he thought he was good enough. He thought he was better than everybody.
Oh, yeah. I can't forget George.
I remember that. I thought he was on our team. It was like, George.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. I totally forgot about that.
Oh,
Only
yeah. He should have hung out the baseball player. Because we were in film, I was like, oh, here it comes. And I looked at him, I was like, bro, you missed the dunk. Well, no, that wasn't my first dunk. That was my third one because remember against Bethel, I had 2 dunks in the same game.
Yeah.
I first like kind of coming into college game because I had 18, 6, 6, and 6 or something stupid like that. And we went in there and just drilled them. It's like a long bus ride. It was cold out. It was snowy, and we went in there and just kind of worked them over. But yeah, that was kind of it. And then I had 2 dunks in that game. I ended up having like probably 7 dunks almost in that year, but before I got hurt.
Yeah, you're damn. Oh, I'll never forget that. We were over in Illinois.
That was horrible.
It was horrible. So, I mean, we've kind of talked about the on the court, off court stuff. So, obviously, I graduate and moved on, and I know you went back to Ancilla for a little bit, but didn't you go to a school over in Missouri? I mean, wasn't that your move after Ancilla?
Yeah, so my mom got sick. I took the year off, and I coached my brother's basketball team, and I just kind of got back in shape. And I really was going to be done with basketball after my mom got sick, and I was just like, whatever. It's like I've done what I need to do. Got myself in like the best shape I'd ever been in. I went back to Ancilla for like half the year. My mom got sick, and then I took a year off, and I was done. And I worked for like a couple months, had a job, and I coached basketball. And then I got a full ride to go to William and Jewell, which is in the GLVC. It's NCAA D2. I had offers to play pro-am and go overseas, but it just wasn't. I was ready to have a career.
Right. William and Jewell. Yep, that's the name of it. I remember that now.
Hated it. Absolutely horrible. Hated it. Worst year of my life. Terrible.
I remember your mom was always posting videos, so that's how I was able to keep in touch there. I remember she posted a picture. You were seriously 8 feet behind the 3-point line, just letting it go. It's like,
oh yeah,
only Alexander would do that.
It's crazy though because like in practice I was killing every day, and then they wouldn't play me. And then like when I would get in, the announcers would like go crazy when I would get in the game. They would say, "Oh, this is instant offense. He's the best passer I've ever had." I hit one that was like literally, so like 8 feet behind the 3 as I came in the game. It was like a video. And like at the end of the year, one of the kids failed a drug test, and I led the team in scoring, assists, and steals like the last year. To come back, and I was like, see ya. And I got a job, and then that's how that happened. Because I was like, actually, they lied to me to get me to come there today. I mean, my school, but it just wasn't. I mean, you got me from 8 hours from home for you to lie to me, and like I was better than others that played, and it was just like I'm not myself out anymore. I'm not worth it. I'm not going to put my hand. I'm not going to put my hand. So that's when I started taking my future like in my own hands and kind of changed everything. I remember telling my dad and my mom that I was done with school and I didn't want to go back, and they were like freaking out. And I was like, I told them, I was like, I'll be fine. I was like, I'm not worried about me as much as you guys are. I know they're supposed to, but they were like so worried about me finishing school. And, I told them, I was like, I have a plan. I'm not worried about it. I'm on a mission to go to myself. Talking to anybody that does, but some people don't have to, and I just didn't have to. So it kind of motivated me after, kind of crapped on by somebody like that, and it's just like, wow, I'm relying on people, for my journey, and it's like I'm tired of doing that. I'm not doing that no more. So everything since then has been on my own terms, and I've dictated my own future. So that's why it kind of motivated me to be my own person and take care of my own stuff and self-invest and make sure you got that type of money that you can tell people.
Yeah, you definitely, you definitely have done well, and I think you've held up your part of that bargain with your mom and dad. And I was always curious, kind of what it was that you wanted to do. So, you get out of William and Jewell, you come home, and ironically, you're working at the Finish Line, I believe it was, at the Tippecanoe Mall in Lafayette, Indiana. And I had just started working in the finance field with a company I'm still with. And I remember I'd come visit you every now and then at Finish Line. And then
I sold you a pair of Air Maxes.
Yeah, you did. Love those shoes.
LTDs, I don't forget.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And then you did you get promoted, or you went into like some management program with Finish Line? You moved to Evansville, right?
So I was a part-timer for 2 months, right?
Uh-huh.
And then I became an MIT after 2 months, and I moved to Champaign, Illinois for about 6 months. And then I got my own store in Evansville, Indiana, where my mom was from. And that's where my mom was living at the time. So, I wanted a store. I wanted to move up my career. My mom lived there. It seemed like the best fit for me. I went to Evansville, and I was running a store there. And then that's when, after I was there for a while, I kind of saw the trend coming with the company. It was just, Finish Line is losing so much money. I kind of stay ahead of the curve, and I'm pretty good at seeing what's coming in the future. And I got out of that company, and I came over to to Foot Locker, obviously. But it's crazy. Finish Line got bought out last year by a UK company for like $500 million, which is not that much because we're an $8 billion company. So that's not that much. So it's kind of I pride myself on staying relevant with the culture and staying ahead of the trend. And obviously the writing's on the wall. They got bought out for next to nothing for a big company like that. But I remember telling you, you could just, that was one of the only things when I was selling and I was on commission, you used to come in there and visit. That was like one of the only times, like, I loved doing something as much as I did like playing basketball. Mm-hmm. I loved telling to people. I loved talking to people. Like, it wasn't a job to me. I lived 45 minutes away from work, and I used to show up every day. I'd show up early. I'd come in and somebody else wouldn't. And that was like how I kind of found another passion to translate what I learned through basketball and AAU and making connections and how to tie it into real life and make money out of it.
That's
Everybody
awesome.
Wears shoes.
Yeah, that they do, and that's awesome, man. And I know you went to Chicago, and you got out of Finish Line and went to Foot Locker, and you started with Foot Locker in Chicago. That was a big move, man. I remember you telling me all about that, and I bet that was pretty cool to live up there. And then you get a store in Indianapolis after that, and that's where you are currently. Seems to be doing pretty well down there, for yourself and running down there in Greenwood. How things going? Going good?
Yep, going good. We had 13 promotions out of my store alone last year. We put out 3 store managers, so that's my favorite thing to do. The sales are cool, bonuses are cool, but the best thing for me is like why I like to do it so much, because you can, help young kids and, people that have never had a chance to be a leader or anything like that, that nobody's ever given them a chance or given them a second look. And you can kind of help them, make more money for their families and their, more money than they've ever had in their lives. They can change and mold for their family, especially in Chicago. I had a lot of, minorities that worked for me. And, it's like they've never, sometimes they've came from super bad backgrounds. But, I just kind of showed them, like, you have great qualities just like everybody else. Like, somebody just needs to show them, and it's like I still talk to a lot of my employees. I still talk to all my employees on a daily basis, whether they work for me in a different company, this company, everything. I've been used for a reference about 10 different times, So I pride myself on not just being a manager, but I'm a person first. And I try to, I've taught guys how to build credit, how to, make sure you're managing your money, how to get your insurance right, stuff like that. So I try to, do what my grandpa did on a different scale. So trying to help as many people as you can, and obviously the money's great. So, I'm not going to act like I just do it for free, but, so helping people is definitely one of my favorite things.
That's so awesome, man. I don't know that I've ever met somebody that's been just so willing and just found such, a fulfilling, it's so fulfilling for you to help people. And I think that's just freaking awesome. The impacts that you can have on people's lives, you've really shown to, really enjoy that. And, I am sure it makes a difference, a whole world of difference for a lot of people. And, I follow that when you post in your stories where, your store was number 1 in your district or the state or however, Foot Locker does their rankings. But, man, that's awesome that you've taken care of so many people and taken people under your wing. You don't find a lot of people like that. And that's why I've always appreciated you as a friend, even though I've always been the butt of your jokes for the most part. But I enjoy it because I know that at the end of the day, you truly care about me, love me, and that's what makes it fun. So,
oh yeah.
I guess last question about the career aspect. What's your ultimate goal in your career? Like, what's the pinnacle for AJ Hutson?
I mean, I'd like to be a district manager and stuff like that, but to be honest, the titles used to get me, like, that's what used to motivate me, the titles, and obviously, it come with pay raises, but, the ultimate goal for me now is just to keep investing my money the right way and, being able to retire at an age that I want to retire at and, have money for, if I ever do have a family and I have kids, like, that I'm set. I don't want to have to be like, oh, I got to hurry up and scramble to get to it now so then I can have a family. Like, I want to have all that stuff set. So, the ultimate goal is to be financially stable and, be with somebody, that shares the same, support as me and lives for God and, have good, healthy kids and, just keep good people around you and have a good family. That's really the ultimate goal. People ask me that all the time and they think that's crazy, Obviously you want to have money, but, just having a loving family, that's always, that gets you through more things than anything.
Yeah, that's the American dream, man. That's awesome. So,
you're living it.
That's right, baby. We're living it. So, so a few questions for you that maybe some people don't know. So what is your favorite thing to do in your free time?
Favorite thing to do in my free time? I'm super boring. I like to watch Netflix and listen. Like, I'm sure you do the same thing. I watch Undisputed and First Take, First Things First, Speak for Yourself, The Herd. I watch all those every single day. But music, I'm actually getting into managing rappers now. So I have friends that rap, and I'm getting into helping them open up for big time rappers and get big time stage in front of 2,000 plus people and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I'm starting to dabble in now is managing music artists and stuff like that. Just for the side. I love music, and music, basketball, and shoes are like that's always going on. So, obviously that's all part of the same culture. So that's kind of what I'm getting into now a little bit. I'm going to feel it out. I've been asked multiple times, if I'd like to manage, people before, and I can never balance it because I was so laser focused on what I was doing with my career. But now I feel like I'm at a point where I can manage, multiple different things and be able to do multiple things outside. That's why I like to have multiple incomes now because I can handle all the different streams and make sure that I'm not getting too stretched out. So, watching Netflix, watching all the sports shows, watching basketball, listening to music. That's pretty much it. I love family, but I'm not super close as I was. I'm not 15 minutes away. I'm a little further, but I talk to my dad. Like I said, I talk to my dad every day, so hang out with my best friend, Colton, call him Gaylord. We hang out every day. That's my best friend. Obviously, he's like my brother. So that's kind of what we do. We do whatever. We're down for whatever. You already know how it goes.
That's right, buddy.
And I'm trying to get into being a stylist. I'm trying to get into doing people's fashion and stuff like that too, because people always hit me up asking me like, hey, what should I put with this or that? So I think I'm going to try to get into doing that a little bit. And then we're going to start doing, a little bit more YouTube videos and skits and stuff like that. So I'm just kind of trying to touch everything a little bit.
Hell yeah, man. You'd be good at that. You were always down. You always had good fashion. So got me into the men's V-necks, baby.
Hey, the men's Express V-necks were no joke. Dude. I just got a suit from there too. I just got me a pink suit because Tank's getting married in Florida, so I'll be there July 12th to see Tank get married. So he's getting married. He's doing awesome. He's doing great.
Oh, good for him, man.
He's married. He just bought a house. He's got a great job. He's doing really good for himself. He's been through a lot, and he's doing great. He lives in Lafayette.
Oh.
You say what? Yeah, he lives in Lafayette.
He probably still hates me, so it's all good. But I like him, so that's all that matters.
Oh yeah. Oh, him and Aaron Bridge were hilarious. When Bridge came there, the funniest two people to have in the room together. Oh, non-stop. Hilarious. Hilarious.
That I bet. I always liked Aaron Bridge. So
yeah, they were great.
So
yeah.
So if money, let's just say money's not an issue. Dream car. What is your dream car? Go.
69 Cutlass convertible, red or black with white interior. Or I'm not one of the people that's like, oh, I have to have this $16 million car, like a G-Wagon, a Maserati, or SUV, or like I said, the 69 Cutlass, which I've been looking to buy one of those here coming soon. There's one in Ohio I've been looking at. It's all white, or it's all red. So old school 69 Cutlass. I'm an old school car guy. I like old school muscle cars.
Nice. That'd be a good pick. I was. How about me? Oh, dude, I don't know.
An 04 Trailblazer.
That's right, baby.
04 Trailblazer.
22 with the system rattling the real tail light off. Dakota and I were in Miami April of last year, and I won a trip through work, so everything was paid, and we stayed in a very nice hotel, like very nice, like $500 a night, nice. And right there on South Beach, I mean, we were right there on the beach. I walked out for the first night out, and sitting in the exit doors was like a pearl white Maserati.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, I about melted. I probably
Maseratis.
Yeah.
Maserati's just like, it's not even the most expensive car, but it's just something about how it looks. Like, I just saw an SUV. I took my dad, Cam, and Brianna to Ruth Chris, and there was a dude that pulled up in a white SUV, and I was looking at those like that might be the next move. They're like 80 to 85,000, but I can make that happen. So
yeah. I saw that thing, and I was like, if I could have one of those one day, that's probably my car, because that thing was sweet. Man,
yeah, they're just, I don't know why. It's just the way they look. I remember seeing one. I remember the first time I saw one, a dude had an all-white one, dual exhaust car, and it was a coupe. Or no, it was a four-door, all-white, and it was 2012, and that was brand new, black brand. And I told him, I was like, man, that car's dope. And he's like, my dad makes leather. I'm like, okay. So he was rich.
Yeah.
But yeah, Maserati. That's one of mine too. Maserati. They look so good. The emblem looks good. The car looks good. Everything.
So, last question before we finish up and talk about what's going on in the NBA and whatnot. On the car subject, does your dad still drive that red Ford Pinto or whatever the hell that thing was that he used to drive to all of our road games when we played it?
Oh, you're talking about the little the Metro.
Yeah, the Metro.
He ended up selling it for like $3,000. He sold it for like $3,000.
He sold that thing for $3,000.
It got like 55 miles a gallon.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
Because that was like, because when my parents got divorced, my dad took all the debt. So we went from, my dad is a six-figure guy. So he went from, we had whatever he wanted. He took all the debt. That's what he wanted to do for my mom to help her. Even that's the type of guy he is. And so he used that to drive everywhere. But yeah, he's got a brand new Jeep now.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, he's got a nice Grand Cherokee. He tried to get me to buy it. I was like, I'm not that at my point in my life yet to have a family car, so I went with the blacked out Wrangler.
Yeah, attaboy. I love that damn red car. I want to know who he sold it to for $3,000, because that dude needs slapped upside the head. But good for your dad.
I think the guy ended up like blowing it up or something.
Probably. I mean, that car was made for your dad. There was nobody else made for it.
Yeah, he looked like.
Wow. Only your dad, man. So we'll move into kind of our last segment.
Look like driving in that car.
So we'll kind of move into our last segment here. So let's talk about the NBA. I think we're both obviously huge fans of the NBA, huge basketball guys, obviously. So I think I figured this out earlier, your favorite all-time player. So favorite all-time player, favorite all-time team in the NBA.
I guarantee you we have the same answer. Reggie Miller, and then whenever Reggie Miller played for the Pacers, those were whenever they had Travis Best, Mark Jackson, Reggie Miller, Rick Smith. They had the Davis brothers. Like I had every jersey, yellow, white, blue. Like I was diehard. We used to go to like 10 games a year. After Reggie retired, everything changed. Like I still liked them. I liked them when they had Jermaine O'Neal. I hated Jamal Tinsley. I hated when they had him. He was garbage. But yeah, I used to love the Pacers. Anytime the Pacers with Reggie Miller, that was it.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, they're my team. Always will be my team. Reggie, somebody at least that I got to watch like real time in person would be Reggie. Just the way, I mean, dude, just killer instinct. But I mean, I'm always going to be a big Larry Bird guy, just with all the videos I'm able to watch and just the way he played the game was awesome. So, who's the most? Yeah, who's the most overrated player in the NBA, in your opinion?
Kyle Lowry and Chris Paul.
Oh, the Kyle Lowry answer surprises me, but yeah, Chris Paul, absolutely.
Like, the dude's averaged 15 and 8, like 5 straight years. I mean, he might have been around 8 before, but what has he ever done?
Yeah, nothing.
Made time. Like, never been the best player on your team besides New Orleans. He wasn't the best player on the Clippers. Like, I just think he's overrated. I don't think he deserves a Hall of Fame career. I mean, he's made all-star teams, but I think he's had a good marketing, and a lot of people have backed him up. He's ahead of the players usually, but he's an absolute jerk to the referees. I think he's the one NBA player, even Jackson, all of them have said, like, he's kind of, carry out the court just to have him.
Yeah, he was just good enough to have David Stern tell the New Orleans Hornets at that time that they couldn't trade him to the Lakers. So he was just good enough for that.
But yeah, do we agree?
Yeah, I think we both agreed on Chris Paul that he absolutely most overrated guy in the NBA for sure. So, so who do you think comes out of the West? Obviously,
who is the GOAT?
Game two's tonight in Oakland in Oracle. Who do you think comes out of the West?
Warriors. I mean, the Blazers look like they had no business even playing that game. It was a joke.
Yeah.
Guarding him. You can't look at the screen and you're sitting in the middle of the lane. What are you doing?
I know.
And that was like the easiest game the Warriors have ever played.
Yeah. I'll be curious to see how Lillard and McCollum. I love Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. I love the backcourt. I love the way they play together. So I'll be eager to see how they bounce back. There was some talk made about how travel and they didn't get a practice. They didn't get like a shoot around because of how early the tip of game one was. So I'll be curious to see how they bounce back. But I love Portland. I would love to see Portland come out of the West for sure. But I do think Golden State gets it done again.
I like Portland. I think Damian Lillard is good. They just did too much talking. Like DJ McIntyre even talked about where we're at for the Warriors. Lillard said, "Cast the Warriors in their playoff run." He said they're due to fall apart. Like, if I'm the Blazers, I'm gonna be talking. They just beat the Rockets. Like, they know that they're going to they know they're going to the championship now. They're just about to steamroll through them without KD.
Yeah, and no kidding. I think they're better without KD. So
Lillard don't shot like. Yeah, I don't think they're a better team. Like Sammy said, they're harder to go. Just so much more movement because, like, obviously nobody's a better team without Kevin Durant. He's inefficient, like he's a dog. But like, it's way harder to guard without him on the floor. It doesn't get stagnant at all. Because I mean, I love watching them play with Iguodala, Draymond, and I even like when Bogey gets back in there and it's the old Warriors. Steph Curry's my favorite player in the NBA right now. He's been my favorite player in the league. Kobe retired. The Steph is my favorite part. So he's been my favorite player for a while. I love what he's about. Good family guy, Christian, and he is a dog.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I was telling people, I was like, he's on fast breaks, he used to get in trouble.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's gonna.
I love watching Steph. So who do you? I kind of bet I want to see Toronto come out of the East. I do think Milwaukee comes out though, just because of Giannis. But I wouldn't be surprised either way. But what are you thinking?
I mean, to be honest, like I think the Warriors will have more trouble with Milwaukee. I think they'll beat them both. I think they'd have trouble with Milwaukee. And I mean, either team could win, but Kawhi looks like he's running out of gas a little bit to me. He's getting less and less efficient as the playoffs go on. He's still scoring a lot of points, but he's taking high volume shots and not making a bunch of them. I mean, Kawhi's super good, but I mean, Danny Green shooting 5 shots. I mean, Kyle Lowry played the best game of his playoff career, and they still lost. They had control of the whole game, but the Bucks supporting cast is just way too good. George Hill acts like he's playing for the Pacers again.
Oh.
Like he's just came out of nowhere again. He's been nothing for a couple of years now, been non-existent. He just seemed like he showed back up. But yeah, the Bucks. I see the Bucks winning in maybe 6 or 7.
Yeah, and I think we can agree that the Warriors will probably beat whoever comes out of the East. So there's probably no debate there. So where do you think Kevin Durant plays at next year? Do you think he's back in Golden State, or where does he end up?
Kevin Durant. Yeah, I think I just don't see why you would leave. I know, like, they talked about, like, nobody's going to say that if you got 6 of them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, he joined the Warriors. Like, bro, 6 rings is 6 rings. I don't care how you get them. That's so hard to do. But I think he's going to go to New York. As him and Kyrie are going to New York. And I think that they will get mentally beaten down when they go there. I think they'll put on a show some nights and people will be like, oh, they're so good. I think they're going to be high and low team. People will be high, 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 low, low, low. But I think many people are soft. I don't see it.
Yeah, so I think
I see that. I just don't think.
Yeah, if Kevin Durant's not tough enough to answer questions about a burner account to California media, I don't think he's going to survive answering questions to the folks in New York. So I think it's going to be tough for him. But yeah, I think he's out of Golden State. So
okay. Yeah, I think he is too, and I just think that's not a good decision. I think he should stay there. Like, he's playing the easiest, most efficient basketball of his career.
Yeah.
Like, and nobody's saying, like, he's still not good. People can say whatever they want about him. I mean, I know they say, oh, LeBron joined up with really, really good players, and he makes his own team wherever he goes. So that's why I told somebody, I was like, what's the difference of 3 people standing over here and I walk over there and stand with that circle versus me standing here by myself and 3 people walk over here? There is no difference. It's just tomato, tomato.
Right.
But I don't think he should leave. It would be cool to see the Warriors without him and how the NBA would look, because I think it would balance out the – I still think everybody comes back. And I think Klay Thompson is for sure coming back. Max deal. Not even going to be a question. He's coming back.
Yeah, I think if Kevin Durant leaves, I think Klay Thompson stays. I think it's important that you keep Curry and Thompson together for as long as you can if you're the Warriors ownership.
Best backcourt of all time.
Oh, if they're not there, they're getting really close. So, well, hey, man.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know who is a 1 and 2, like, point guard, shooting guard. I don't know who's got him. Who's as good as them.
Yeah, they're not. They're the best shooting duo I think I've ever seen. So
yeah.
Well, hey, buddy. I've had you for long enough. You've been so gracious and grateful with your time. We definitely need to do this again. It's been a ton of fun. So maybe we can set it up one day where we could do an in-person show. I've got a pretty good podcast set up with a couple of boom stands and mics. we should get you up here sometime, and we can do kind of in person. You can bring Colton with you, and he can play with my kids or something while we're doing that. So
yep. Yeah, like punch him as hard as you want.
Yeah, he could probably get dunked on. I got him a little Nerf basketball goal down here. It's about 3 feet off the ground. They'd probably put his ass on a poster. So,
yeah, they can dress him up. They can put makeup on, do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want.
He looks skinny enough. He can probably fit. He can probably fit in one of these princess dresses back over here in their play area.
Yeah, he does like to dress up in women's clothes.
Oh man, you have to tell him I said what's up. He's got to be. I'm sure him and I would get along great. So, but hey, as we're getting off here.
Yeah.
So as we're getting off here, let everybody know where they can follow you at. On the gram, Facebook. If you have Twitter, where can they follow you and follow your life and all that good stuff that you put on every day.
My Instagram is AJ, just the letter A, letter J, _HUTSON. That's my Instagram. My Facebook is AJ Hutson. And then I have a YouTube channel that we're, just got started and set up. Our channel is, I got AJ, the and sign, CJ, FTBTR. FTBTR, you know what that stands for?
I was getting ready to ask, so enlighten me.
I'm going to get a shirt made and get a patent before somebody tries to steal it from me because I made it up about 2 years ago. Fade to beard tat ratio. Fade, beard, tat ratio. Always on point, baby. You know it is.
I like that, dude. That's awesome. I want a shirt. XL. Yeah. Hit me up, man.
It's good, isn't it?
It is good.
I'll make them. I got you. It's good.
Let me know.
I gotta patent it before somebody steals it from me.
That's right. You need to get a merch line rolling too, man. Get some shirts.
Just right here, just the initials, and it's just gonna say it.
Yep.
And then I want to. You know what? I thought about it today. I want to do the picture. Like James Harden has those beard ones where it's like the side profile. And like you see his beard in the side of his head. I wanted to do that and then put like you know how the emoji looks like it's projecting words and put FTBTR coming out of it. I was like, FTBTR. I was like, I want to do that. I was like, I think that would be tight. It would be funny too.
Dude, you know what? I'm gonna come down with talk. Maybe we'll become business partners. We got some ideas. I think we could really do some work.
If you got a beard, you got some tats. You want the shirt? Why not? You want the shirt?
I think you can make some money off that. That's hella clever, dude. I'm proud of you, man.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're my friend. Love you, bro.
So then I'm gonna be like, all right, everybody, we're quitting work. We're all gonna live in. Well, I told my dad, I was like, if I ever get like super loaded one day, I was like, we're all gonna live in the trailer park, like the trailer park boys, and live on our own community.
There you go, man. That'd be awesome.
Kids can go play in the little pools, and everybody can meet in the middle. Everybody can watch their kids from the lawn chairs on their back porch at the trailer park.
Hey, the American dream, baby. The
American dream. Your parents, my parents, us. We're good.
Dude, it's all we need, bro.
Oh man,
it's all we need. Well, hey, everybody, you heard where to follow the man at. So make sure you hit him up on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and definitely subscribe to his YouTube page. They're going to put up a ton of good content. They're just getting started, so be there from start because it's going to be some good stuff you don't want to miss. And also don't forget to subscribe, rate, review the podcast here, and also my YouTube page. You can listen to the podcast on any platform that you choose to listen to podcasts, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Play Store, the Anchor website, podcast platform, so on and so forth. So, hey, man, Alexander, dude, I appreciate you joining, man. Guess what? You're now a recurring guest. That's like the title to have on these podcasts. You are now considered a recurring guest. So welcome.
I'm a regular.
Welcome to the club, bro. Welcome to the club.
I appreciate you having me. This is some of the most fun I've had in a long time, just chatting it up, talking about sports.
Oh, don't worry, bro.
I love you and your family, and I appreciate everything.
Absolutely.
I appreciate everything you guys have done for me. I wish to come the best with her pregnancy and the girls. I'm always keeping up with them, thinking about and praying for you guys. So For sure.
I know. I definitely appreciate that. And so does Dakota. Baby girl will be here the last week of May. It's already in the works. So add another one to the crib.
I read that this morning.
Oh yeah,
the update this morning.
Facebook's personal journal. Dakota's the author.
Something like that. She doesn't want it to cut into her leave time.
Yeah,
she don't want to cut into her leave time.
Yeah, she's selfish.
I ain't mad at her.
So, all right, everybody. Thanks for joining.